Please stand for the order, please, of the clock. Please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Your roll call.
Chavez.
Here.
Hightower.
Here.
Jackson. Mason. Here. Mora. Here. Sosa.
Here. Okay, we have a new board member, oath of office, Mr. Rose, would you like to present the oath of office to our board member? A motion. Ms. Mason. Ms. Jackson.
Chavez. Hightower. Jackson. Mason. Mora. Sosa. Motion carried.
Detail. Now, Mr. Mason, would you present the oath of office to our board members?
I will be honored to. Take your hand. Both hands.
Get at it, right?
Yes, and what you're going to do is read with me.
Okay, okay,
We're going to do the board member oath and conduct.
okay.
At the break, say your name.
I, Peg O'Connell, do you want me to start? Forget that.
Yes,
Do
you
solemnly
swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of School District 87 in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability. I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees. I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting. I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels. As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in School District 87. I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for School District 87. I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environmental design to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework. I shall strive to ensure continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law, and I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community schools to advance the vision for School District 87. And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead School District 87 toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
Wow. Great job.
Thank you.
So, do we need a motion?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's been a long, don't leave me again. I was 32 years last time, I don't know. I will be up for a month.
One location is enough.
Oh, okay.
Next time, we're gonna have 20 years.
I'll be over a century old. For God's sake.
Welcome to the board again.
Thank you. Thank you, Kel.
Gotta wait for the next referendum.
Always have.
Okay, now we're going to the awards and bids.
Yes. So bid release package 2 included 4 bids. The first bid is for the building concrete work. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education award the bid for trade package 03A, building concrete work, to Premium Concrete Incorporated in the amount of $2,467,400.
Motion. Roll call.
Mora.
Aye.
O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower. Jackson.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the next one is for precast concrete work. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education award the bid for trade package 03B precast concrete work to Spancrete Incorporated in the amount of $1,046,354.
The motion, Ms. Mason and Mrs. Sosa. Roll call.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason. Mora. O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
The next bid is structural steel and miscellaneous metals work. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education award the bid for trade package 05A structural steel and miscellaneous metals work to Affordable Welding US Incorporated in the amount of $4,932,000.
Do we have a motion? Ms. O'Connor? Ms. Mason. Roll call, please.
Mason. Mora. O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the next one is for excavation work. And we had the first two low bidders requested to withdraw their bids. So the suggested motion is that the Board of Education accept and approve the requests for withdrawal of bids from Joseph J. Henderson and from Berger Excavating and award the trade package 31A excavation work to J.S. Reamer Incorporated in the amount of $1,596,000.
A motion, Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Sosa. Roll call, please.
O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Mora.
Aye.
Motion carried.
On this next one, are we gonna be voting on the alternates as well? Because this includes the alternate for Jefferson.
It includes all of the alternates. The bids came in well below what the anticipated cost would be, which makes the alternates feasible. And I believe with the alternates, it's still below what the estimated cost would be on Jefferson.
Okay.
So yes, the recommendation, because of that, the way the bids came in was to include all of them. If the board would like to discuss that, that would,
It's the canopy is still average $76,000 per day.
We have to go in closed session to discuss that.
no, this is open. So, I do want to, and maybe Ms. Mason can speak to, because I know you had the chance to go out to Jefferson to speak with Mr. Jordan, tour the site, correct? I believe you would. So do you want to speak to, at least give some background on what that conversation was?
Yes, regarding the canopy, it was really not just cosmetic. It was because if the canopy is there, the drop-off and pickup site would be at that prime location, which would allow all the students to be together, it would be better controlled, it would be more financially sound for the staff themselves, so that all of them don't have to be in that location. They can all be, doing other duties while a set number of staff members control the area. And it was also the canopy itself. It stretched from the door, the main door, all the way to the parking lot. So it was pretty lengthy. So whether it be rain, wind, cold, it serves the community and it's safe. So I did a walk around and I came back to that spot again and I said, explain it to me again. And she did. And I understand it. And I understand that the long-term financial bite that we'll be taking, it works itself out. as far as the community, because I live in the community, I live right there. Mr. Hightower, you live right there too, and we know how conflicting it is when it comes to parking. Conflicting it is when it comes to neighbors, parking on the street and having all of those different pick-up and drop-off, areas, being utilized with buses in their cars and also, police cruisers trying to control the area. So to have one location and have the children not just walk up to a door, but follow through that path, it's control.
So you okay with the control?
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with the cost?
I'm okay with the cost. Yes.
So Mr. Trudez, would you like to present your cases for us?
Well, my comment is, you don't have canopies in all other schools, right? You don't, how many days of the elements are your children going to be exposed to? For me, $76,000 could be better used going to the education virtual. That's my thoughts on it. And if we're going to vote on this, I may consider it in the future, but right now, I'm not ready to vote yay for this. So you don't have that canopy being set up in other schools. Again, you're exposed to the elements. So what do? You set up canopies even going to your home? We live in Chicago. We live in inclement weather. We get exposed to it. Those are my thoughts.
Good exchange. Let's go to Salvador. Do you have any concerns with the canopy being installed in the school?
I guess I definitely see both points. I don't know that that I'm swayed one way or the other, right? I think that if from what I understand, and I didn't have the opportunity to go see the school, there's already something there that helps funnel the kids, so this would just make it. There's nothing? Okay. So I hear the argument of the use of funds towards other educational needs. I also think that if there's something that helps our, teacher, staff, principals, whoever it may be, do things that'll make the job easier for them and to make them feel like something is going to make things safer for the students, that should be a top priority as well,
So Ms. Mason, the principal accept, they want this canopy? They have no objection?
They did. Because what Mr. Torres informed me that once the canopy's up, that particular area is going to be the main drop-off and pick-up area. Nothing else.
It's like a controlled environment.
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
I'm for the canopy, and Carlos, I understand where you're coming from, but in totality, $78,000, that's one teacher for 1 year. This canopy will be up for 30 years. And then we also got, the parent teacher, PTOs going to be coming in and out of there. We got sports teams that use the schools as well. We got kids before and after school lunches and breakfast. So it looks gonna get a little sticker shock, but over the 30 years, you can divide that up, $2,500 per year for that, and something around that. So I'm okay with that.
Keep in mind, it's not $78,000 for 30 years. You're still going to have maintenance.
Let me have no question about it.
There's going to be upkeep and maintenance. You can't make assumptions. It's just going to be $78,000.
And we just spent like $50-something thousand, $100-something, like 2 months of review. And this, like I said, this is going to be a real need. I understand what you're saying, but really, that $78,000 that you want to put towards education is really going to be one or two programs.
I want to add a part to the conversation is that I don't think the canopy discussion was as relevant prior to COVID. I think the value of outdoor space has taken on a whole different meaning for us. You see the tents that we purchased, because what we need is that outdoor usable space, which played a lot into the safety. And before you'd have all the students congregating at the front entrance, close together, and now we're trying to spread them out and keep them outdoors longer. I think that's why one of the things that we've learned is having that opportunity to have that outdoor usable space. And we're eliminating the circle drop off, so that distance is what's going to be increased. So I think I think that's really the motivation behind, if we had to rebuild Whittier, we might have thought that way too, but we don't. And so to your point, Carlos, I agree, we weren't building those things 20 years ago when those buildings went up. I know like when we look at the new building for MacArthur, we're gonna have like a canopy at least outside the entrance, correct? Because when parents are waiting to get buzzed in, when they're waiting for pickups, we have a lot of daycare that comes through there. So I think the relevancy became, a little bit greater than it had in the past. When Mr. Ford explained it to me that way, I think that's when I saw more of the value of it than maybe I would have 2 years ago. So for whatever that's worth for the conversation.
I appreciate that. Justin, so you nod your head, so we are expecting a canopy at Buffalo?
Yes, so there's a canopy at the main entrance where all the students are going to be coming in and out of the bus, and then there's individual canopies at each of the car drop-offs as well.
All right, thank you. Susan, you part of the conversation?
Again, I share Mrs. Moore, I see both sides. I see the number high, but I also see the benefit. I see the fact that Carlos is saying, we don't have canopies on the on Whittier or Norley yet, should.
To what extent are those canopies compared to what we're looking to install at Jefferson?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Aren't they similar?
To what extent are we looking to install those canopies that are going to go up at the other schools compared to what's being requested for Jefferson?
I think that question to,
I think the,
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Smith.
at MacArthur and Sunnyside, building, the drop-off area is very close to the building, 20, 30 feet. If it's raining, you don't have to traverse a very long distance. It's almost 200 feet from the building at Jefferson, from the main entrance to the parent drop-off pickup area in the parking lot.
So what's the distance?
So, and the way that the school handles dismissal, they basically queue the students and then dismiss them when their parent comes up. So if we have students queuing at the curb in rainy weather, that's a problem. And if we hold them at the building and they have to run out 200 feet, that will introduce a long delay for every student, and that'll impact the speed at which we can get parents through the loop, which is the key and a design criteria. So I feel that the situation at Jefferson is different because of the distance that we have to have the drop-off loop.
What's the distance of the canopy?
The distance.
What's the length? What's the length of the canopy?
The length of the canopy is 175 feet.
I've had children at Jefferson, I've had a grandchild at Jefferson. Children walk to school, they get wet, they walk through snow, To me, it's overkill for our school district.
okay, that's fair. Finish your point, Mr. Simpson.
Sorry.
No, it's fair. I see both points. If I'm against the wall and have to make a choice right now, I think I'll lean towards Carl's point that, it's true. I mean, if they walk 175 from the door, they still have to get wet by the time they get out of the car. And the fact that we live in Chicago, I mean, it don't matter where we go, we're still gonna get wet, we're still gonna get snow. So, and the tag, $70-something thousand, $76,000, it's a high tag for that.
That's fair. Mr. O'Connell.
I don't know.
We discussed the canopy that's being installed at the new building at Jefferson. And we also had a conversation that same canopy we wanted to off. So discussion is based on cost and upkeep, that we want to vote for, up or down for this particular project at Jefferson. That's the question. So do you have an opinion?
I don't know, I think whatever is best for the kids and is gonna protect them, that would be my main concern.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I don't think, Ms. Francis, that we want to delay the process as far as the overall bid. I think that's looking for a recommendation. Yeah. I would like to take a vote. Do you have a motion to take a vote? Ms. Mason? A second?
Wait,
To take a, on this project.
okay, with the alternates
In its entirety.
Its
in its
entirety.
entirety. Okay, do you want me to read the motion?
Yes, please.
Okay. That the Board of Education award the bid for the Jefferson site improvements to Abbey Paving Company Incorporated in the amount of their base bid proposal of $963,240 plus unit price and allowances of $35,400, items 3.20 through 3.7, plus alternate number 1, $33,085, plus alternate 2 for $78,355, plus alternate number 3 for $14,325, plus alternate number 4 for $76,945, for a total amount of $1,201,350. As presented.
Okay, and this bid came in lower than the expected bid.
Less than expected,
And you're looking for a motion, a vote?
yes.
Okay. You have a motion? Ms. Mason, a second? Mr. Jackson? Roll call, please.
Hightower, Jackson, Mason, Mora, O'Connell, Sosa, Childs.
Thank you.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
I
Anything else?
I just want to say I appreciate the conversation. I think those are important points to be made, and had the bids not come in where they came in, we would have been having to look more, we would have to scrutinize those alternates, which is why they get listed alternates. So I really appreciate the
My only
conversation.
comment to that, with the bids coming in lower is we're in a construction environment, there's a lot of pressure on costs. That $76,000 may have to come into play in the future.
Well, Carlos, I totally agree with you. The bottom line here, we got you on our right hand, that you're gonna be really pushing these costs. We really appreciate it. So you will represent the board, you're gonna put pressure on our contractors to make sure we stay within budget. So we're gonna count on you as our spokesman to keep that pressure on, okay? So thank you for starting the conversation.
Thank you.
That's just round one, all right? Thanks, Carlos, appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for participation.
That's all of the bids, correct?
That's the end of the bids, yes, thank you.
And I would just like to note that we came in under on all of our bids. I know last month we were discussing the budget being over, but now that we've gotten actuals back, you're gonna start to see those numbers tighten up. And so Gilbane is on that, and you've seen that in your board information, but we were very pleased when those bids came in to see those numbers lower than what we had anticipated. So thank you to Gilbane, to Lowell, to the team.
Once again, get used to seeing Mr. Carlos.
Yeah.
Mr. Carlos, he's our right hand. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Carlos. Thank you. Okay, moving right along. Consideration of new business. Superintendent, Dr. Brisson.
All right, so we just have a few items that we decided to take advantage of all of you being here for this special meeting to get some employments taken care of. So we are very excited for our new early childhood coordinator. We're asking that the board reassign our current early childhood teacher, Melanie Kowalczyk, from pre-kindergarten teacher to early childhood coordinator, effective for the 21-22 school year as presented.
A motion. Ms. Mason? Ms. O'Connor? Roll call, please.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason. Mora.
Aye.
O'Connell. Sosa. Chavez. Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And we ask that the board employ the following licensed personnel effective August 23rd, 2021, pending all employment paperwork for Lana Marchand and for Riley, fourth grade ESL shelter teacher.
Motion. Mason, second by Mora. Roll call, please.
Mason. Mora.
Aye.
O'Connell. Sosa.
Aye.
Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson. Motion carried.
And we ask that the board employ the following personnel pending all employment paperwork: Gabriela Montalongo as a teacher at Sunnyside, and Alejandra Turner as an administrative assistant at district office.
A motion. Mason and O'Connor. Roll call, please.
Mora.
Aye.
O'Connell. Sosa.
Aye.
Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason. Motion carried.
The last item on my agenda was the student dress code as promised. I presented to you a revised student dress code. This comes out of press policy. This is also based on research from many other districts, this very simplified version of our student dress code. And it actually, in reading it further, really protects us from some of the discriminatory policies that are now in place to really help all students be treated equitably. So it is part of moving forward in our equity work, and I'm really excited to present that to you tonight for discussion. And then first reading and recommended approval will be at the June 28th meeting. The procedures that would be written and included in the handbook are then an administrative process, but the board policy is what the board would be reviewing and approving
In June.
at the June 28th. So if there's any questions or discussion for tonight, and again, this comes straight out of press policy, which is what we subscribe to as a district, for the language and to stay up to date on current statutes.
So Chair, this is just for review, not for votes.
We do not need to vote on this tonight, no. As promised, I wanted to give you time to discuss and to see it prior to asking for a vote.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're good? Okay.
Right.
I think it really is gonna open up the opportunity to better administer things that help keep our kids safe and our environment focused on learning, so.
And my only comment would be, I would look to the administration in the future that they're monitoring any any trending, I guess, would be the word, or lack of a better word, of what's happening, for styles and peer pressure, those types of items. If we need to come back and revisit this and modify the policy, then we do it.
I think that's a great point, and please know that the Parent Teacher Advisory Committee, which meets annually, reviews this every year. And so whomever the board represents, I believe Mr. Sosa is our representative for that, that is the time. So it is required to annually review, so that will absolutely be embedded within the process for the administration.
So we're looking for consensus and move forward next week.
Yes.
So everybody say yes?
Yes.
We're consensus.
Excellent, thank you so much. And that is all I have.
That's it.
That's it.
Short report.
Yes. So the next item is the assignment of the trade packages that were awarded this evening as part of the Gilbane project. The Gilbane is the construction manager over. So the suggested motion is that the Board of Education assign the awarded bid for trade packages 03A, building concrete work, 03B, precast concrete work, 05A, structural steel and miscellaneous metals work, and 31A, excavation work as presented and approved to Gilbane Building Company, and authorizes the board president and administration to take all actions reasonable and necessary to accomplish the assignment.
Your motion, Mr. Jackson and Mrs. Sosa. Roll call.
O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Chavez.
Because this continues to add to 76,000. Because of that. Otherwise, I would say.
So, yeah, okay. With understanding, Gilbane, give
Oh,
no
it's
call.
No,
My apologies.
that is only for the 4 bids for the Sunnyside MacArthur work. The Jefferson project is not being managed by Gilbane. The Jefferson project is being managed by Gold Architects.
Okay.
Mr. Schuster.
So you're
So,
trying to,
I retract my name.
okay, so again,
Keller. Jackson.
Aye.
Mason. Moore.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, and the next item is a proposal from Gold regarding the security and audio video systems design project proposal. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education approve the audio, visual, and security technology design proposal as presented.
a motion, Ms. O'Connell, Ms. Chavez. Roll call.
Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Laura.
Aye.
O'Connell.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, and the next item is the approval to establish a change order process. So we've taken the narrative, background information that was provided previously, as well as the discussions with the board, the last 2 board meetings, and created bullet points to outline what the process would look like. And I think it addresses all of the concerns that were brought forward in the discussion. So the suggested motion is that the Board of Education approve to establish the change order process as presented.
A motion.
And my comment is, I want to thank you. The documents, it has the transparency that I was looking for. Thank you.
And actually, thank you, I appreciate that. We are looking to establish this process for any project, that we have a process in place. Primarily, right now, it's this process, this project, the Sunnyside MacArthur and then the Riley North Lake. But in 2 years, if we do another project, 5 years, if we do another project, there's an outline what the process should look like. And that the board is aware of that this is how it comes forward, and anything that's critical, of course, has to be addressed. But this meets the needs of the board.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chavez, since you accept that, we'll get a motion from you.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
I second it. She first, I second.
Ms. Mason.
This is first, I second.
Yes.
Okay.
Chavez.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Laura.
Aye.
O'Connell.
Aye.
Sosa. Motion carried.
Do we have anything for the administration? Anything else?
That's it. This graduation is Thursday evening for those that can attend. It'll be new and different this year, held at Proviso West, so we're excited. We're going to give back to that. But we want to thank our partners at Proviso for giving us this opportunity, and I'm really excited to honor and be able to do it in person with our 8th grade graduates. So, very excited for them.
Well, before we go on, I want to thank the administration. I want to thank the Gilbane and Rose, who guys made a very nice presentation tonight. So, once again, let's make sure we don't point. It's our right hand. Mr. Chavez can be on those nickels, right?
The fun starts now.
So on tonight, all right. So, a motion to adjourn. Mr. Jackson and Ms. Mason. Roll call, please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Laura.
Aye.
O'Connell. Sosa. Chavez.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for showing me. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Get to know Carlos. First name basis.